This is a problem that every single one of us is a stakeholder in. Whether we are complaining about paying too many taxes, your taxes are going to pay for a healthcare system that is overburdened by the huge outbreak of mental illness. Mental illness is largely on the rise because of the effects of divorce. If you are worried about crime on your streets, you should be. And you should also be worried about the state of the separated family, because those children are more inclined to grow up to be involved in youth crime. You have fathers who have perhaps fallen down on their luck, taking up jail cells that should be dedicated to that child abuser. You have a senior population struggling to maintain not only their own standard of living through retirement, but now also having to face the problems of taking care of adult children who are no longer able to care for themselves. If you are concerned about industry, our industries are not changing their market share, but their market share is bankrupt. We have beer companies that are no longer making the profits they used to, and car manufacturers that are no longer making the profits they used to. They have a stake in this because their market share is a bankrupt population of males. We have the problems of immigration. We don't need to bring in immigrant workers if we put those good fathers who have fallen down on their luck back to work instead of throwing them in jail. We have the issue of educating our children. And our children are being educated right now that boys are perpetrators and girls are victims. We're not benefiting our boys or our girls by creating this type of identity crisis. Our girls are not victims. They are strong and they are fair and they are capable. And so are our boys. For 25 years, we have pushed men to become more emotionally attached to their family, and they have embraced that full force. And now we think we can turn around and say, oh, it was just a joke. We were just pretending. We need to look at what the effects of that mentality is having. We're not benefiting our young women by relegating them to the sole responsible role of parent. They need that break. They need to be able to share those responsibilities. And the children need to have healthy and happy and secure parents. Every single one of us has a stake in this. Whether we've been directly affected by it or not, you are being affected by the crisis of family law. My motivation truly is my 2 sons and my 2 stepsons. I don't believe that I will be able to fix this problem on my own or even in the next year or 2. My boys will be marrying age within the next 5 and 10 years. They're good kids. They are good boys, and they're going to make wonderful fathers and wonderful husbands. Why am I doing all of this and raising them to be good men, to watch them lose everything they ever worked for? I do this so that I can be a grandmother. I have a 50% chance of being affected by this with our 4 boys. And that is one of the things that I look forward to more than anything, is to be a grandparent. And by being a paternal grandmother, I have a very real risk of never seeing my grandchildren. I have a lot to give them. My husband has a lot to give them. And those grandkids deserve as much love as they can ever be surrounded with. What if you have a mother that bashes that father all to heck in front of those kids, and then that poor boy or that poor girl an hour later does something and the parent turns around and goes, oh, you're just like your father? What message have you just sent to that child? You've just told them That person is no good, they're a deadbeat, they're horrible. You've just relayed that same message inadvertently to your child. And they know they are part of that other parent. You cannot argue with biology. Well, the solution is going to take everybody, and it's going to take all of us. It starts with something as simple as making this part of your daily life. You need to understand in every conversation you have that this has a bearing on our future. Phone your member of parliament or your legislator. Write them a letter. And in doing so, let them know all of the different areas of your life that are affected and how you see our future going if we maintain the path that we're on right now. What will we do if we continue to push people to desperate levels and desperate situations? There can only be one outcome from that. Make this a part of your daily life. Don't be afraid to discuss it with anybody. There's no shame in surrounding our children with parents and grandparents that love them. Send a message to your legislator. Send a message to your family and friends. Write a letter to your local TV station or newspaper. You may only do 3 things a year to forward this, and let it be to discuss, to open the doors for communication with your legislators and with your media.